everyone. My name is Ani G, editor of Swag Magazine CA, and I'm here with an incredible musician, Tommy Mora. Tommy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Tommy, can you please tell us a little bit about your background story?
Well, I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. I started playing at the age of 13. My father was a musician, and I always followed his footsteps, and he'd bring music first to listen to, and I love music from a very young age. So I'm just very blessed that God has given me this gift of music, and I just want to showcase it to the world, and want to be able to make the best music that I can. And so I moved out here to California with that same intention in 2000, and I've been so blessed to work with so many great people. I'm also an audio engineer, so I was able to get my first gig over at SIR Studios in Hollywood and Sunset. And first couple of days I was working with people like Lionel Richie and Kiss, Elton John. So I learned a lot about the music business side and the industry, working with those great artists. But I always had the intention of making my own music.
Right.
And so I've always been a songwriter, and so just last 10 years I've been really focusing on my craft and my songwriting abilities. And so right now I'm on my third album.
Now, I've definitely heard Let It Shine, and it's truly an inspirational record. And what impressed me the most is the fact that you produced the entire album. Can you please talk to me about the production side and let us know what instruments you actually do play? Because he played every single instrument on this record.
Well, not every single. I would say about 85%. On my first record, my first two records, I did play all the instruments. On this last one, I had a friend of mine, David Raven, that plays with Keith Richards. I invited a friend of mine to play bass, and we had a lot of fun making this record. I play all the guitars, obviously, and all the basses, but I play keyboards as well. I sing all the songs, all the background vocals, and it's a very positive record. It's a different record from my last, because my last record, I was still sort of mourning the loss of my mother, because that's one of the things that she left me with right before she left. Is, no matter what's going to happen in your life, I'm always going to be there with you. So you got to keep on dreaming, you got to keep on pushing, you got to keep on moving. So she sort of gave me the song right there, then and there. And but now this record, it almost feels like, the rain has stopped, the sun is out, and now it's time to go out and play. Nice. And so that's why I titled it Let It Shine.
Your latest release off of your Let It Shine album is called Your Love, and I've seen the music video to it. They had a bunch of swing dancers in the song, flipping, twisting, turning, and it was such a fun song. Can you please talk to us about the production of the video and what it took to...
I was so lucky to have the Hollywood Hotshots, which is a professional dance company here in LA, and these guys have been on so many music videos, from Brian Setzer to Harry Connick Jr. I mean, they've been everywhere. Madonna, you name it. And so, the vibe of the song is a very danceable song. It's got like a swing vibe to it. It's very sort of old school, retro, whatever you want to call it. I just call it music.
When will it be released, the video?
It's already finished and done, so hopefully by the end of the year it'll be done, before the end of the year. So we're shooting probably in about 3 weeks or so. We're going to be planning a big party, and hopefully...
Am I invited?
Of course you are. You're
there
my
you
VIP.
Go. Oh, there you go. I feel special now.
Of course.
Are you planning on doing any gigs after...
Yeah, we do.
New Year?
Yes, yeah, we sure are. The NAMM show is coming up in January, which is something I do every year.
Okay.
I'm endorsed by DR Strings, and usually I'm part of their events. So we don't have anything as far as the date and time, but that'll develop within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And just look at my website. You can find all my shows, all my postings, and hopefully we get to see you at our show.
Now let's talk about your time on the road, because you've been fortunate enough to tour with such incredible musicians as Mark Anthony and Prince. How did that happen?
Yeah, well, I've been working with Mark Anthony since 2004, and like I said, I've been an engineer ever since I was a kid. I've always been fascinated with electronics and just everything about music. I love everything about music, not just the performing side or the songwriting, but just how does a show come about? How does that signal get from little bitty microphone all the way through the speakers out to the audience? So I was been fascinated with sound reinforcement, and I was very blessed to move to LA and work with those type of people as a sound engineer. And so going on the road with Mark was amazing. It was like my first time ever going out of the country, places like France and Spain and Latin America. And one of the things I really remember from that is how important it is to write a great song with a great message. You could be in any part of the world.
Now, what can you tell touring musicians about the business aspect of the industry and how to conduct themselves in order to make sure that they have their agreements in order? What exactly do they need?
Well, they need a lot of discipline, and dedication. Obviously, if you're already on a touring with a touring band, you've already done your homework, and you've already been through the steps that it takes to get there. But to get there, I tell that to any musician, really, any musician out in California who's barely making, moving into LA, wanting to break into business is, you have to be punctual, very responsible. You have to commit to. If you commit to a gig, you got to follow through.
Right.
Be prepared as much as you can, and all those things really come into factor and make you a successful touring musician.
Cool. Your objective was to produce a very positive album, and you clearly delivered upon that. What more can you discuss with us about your Let It Shine release?
Well, with Let It Shine, one of my goals was to produce a great record, an overall record. I treated every song like it was a single.
Right.
And I gave every single song the same amount of love, almost if like they were all my kids, And so,
Ladies, wait. He's single, no kids though, okay? Just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, I don't have 14 kids.
No, no kids, but 14 incredible songs.
Right. On this album, 14 on the last one. So, for me, it was very important to, have an overall good sounding record and not just an overall, 3 or 4 good songs.
Right.
On this album, I come from an old school style of recording where there's no drum machines, there's no samples, there's no drum loops. Everything is 100% real.
One of the records I really liked off of your album, Let It Shine, was Simple Man, which gave me a glimpse of who you are as a man in this industry who has overcome heartbreak and found his true passion, which was there all along, your love for music.
Right.
Is that an accurate depiction?
Yes, Simple Man is the song that I wrote. It's a very simple song, just like the title implies. It's a bluesy song, stripped down. I had a friend of mine that plays with War come and play harmonica by the name of Tex. He's a great, incredible musician. And really the message of the song is, I wrote this song about the pressures of blending into this high materialistic upscale society. It's true to the person that I am. I'm a simple man, and it's a simple song. That's all about it.
Bottom line, simple man, simple song. Gotta
Right.
love it. Now tell me, who are you when you're not recording and you're not touring?
When I'm not recording, I'm writing new songs, and I'm always trying to find that next step.
Right.
I'm always trying to get better as a songwriter, as a producer, as a musician. And, life is, music is my life.
Since I love Let It Shine, how's the next album gonna be geared?
Well, I always have this notion of making a different type of record. This new record, we're already 4 songs into the new album, and all I can tell you is it's completely different than the last 2 records. It's a lot more guitar driven. Some of the songs are are still bluesy, but they're a little bit more on the rock side. So far, we're 4 songs into it, and man, these are going to be the kind of songs that you want to drive on your way to Vegas.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, everything is high energy and guitar driven. It's something that you're going to want to turn up your radio.
So I can rock out to it when I'm on my elliptical machine.
Oh yeah, you better be ready, girl. You're going to be sweating.
Oh boy, okay now. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, all my shows are pretty high energy shows, and you won't be bored if you come see my show.
What would you like to tell that young musician in El Paso or a musician in Japan, which you have an amazing fan base out there? What would you tell them in order for them to better their craft?
You just really have to work hard, really work hard. There's no time to take any vacations. You got to work. I was very blessed to have met Gene Simmons, the guy, from Kiss. And, one of the things that I asked him when I did meet him was, can you have any advice for me as an upcoming musician? And that's exactly what he told me, and I'll never forget that, is you have to really work every day, every single day. You got to work on your craft. While people are out at the club, people partying, doing their thing, you got to be home working, and you never stop working, until you get to where you want to be. And then from there, you keep working even more. So it's a lot of dedication and a lot of sacrifice. But if you really want to be successful, you just got to work and work.
So practice.
Practice, exactly.
Now, if you were to close your eyes and envision your career 10 years, 20 years down the line, what would you see? And what would you want as far as your independent record label, RMC Records, is concerned?
Well, I see myself on a pool overlooking Los Angeles with a bunch of beautiful Armenian women.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. One of the things is for me to win a Grammy. That would be such an honor, to be recognized with so many great legends and musicians. But just, if that it wasn't to happen, just make great music, music that people could relate to all over the world. I think that's one of my biggest missions, is to be able to make music that transcends any language, any time period. Just great music that people can relate to.
Timeless music.
Timeless music, exactly.
Wow. One thing's for sure, you're definitely on the path to imprint your legacy as not someone who just puts out songs just for the sake of it, but someone who puts out music that speaks to various generations, from 20-year-olds to 40-year-olds to 50-year-olds. I've seen on your social media that retweet and post about your music,
right,
which must be an incredible feeling.
It is. I've always wanted for my music to stand up next to the classic artists that I love and respect, anywhere from the Beatles to Jimi Hendrix to James Brown. I have fans that are 15 years old and fans that are 60 years old.
You always engage your fans through social media. How can people find you and follow you?
Well, the best place to find me is on my website at TommyMora.com. There's all my links to my social media. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Reverb Nation, YouTube. Just follow me at Tommy Mora. And I would love to. I always get back to my fans. I always try to stay as connected to my fans as possible.
Well, I'm sure they very much appreciate that. What would you like to tell your fans before we wrap up this interview?
I'd just like to say thank you for all your support over the years. All the DJs that play my music, whether it be on radio stations or internet radio. I've been so blessed to have your support. I just want to say thanks, and hopefully the message of my music will give you that inspiration, that encouragement to live your life to the fullest. Let It Shine is my new record, and it's all about embracing yourself, overcoming your insecurities. People tell you you can't do this, you can't. Let's prove them wrong.
Right.
Let's prove them wrong, and just gotta go and live your life to the fullest.
That's a beautiful message. Tommy Mora, thank you for being such a humble, motivational artist in this music industry. we wish we had more artists like you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. For everybody tuning in, this is Ani G with Tommy Mora. Please continue to follow this incredible musician at Tommy Mora.